Alright, howdy everybody. I've been itching to do a reaction video for a while on this Steve Goodman. I love doing these reaction videos, but if you've watched mine before, you know I get hung up on where they don't let me put it up. I get like a strike and they won't, so it's a risky business, but we're gonna try because I like doing them and I really love Steve Goodman.
Years ago, when I was young and beautiful, I used to work at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, and after hours, anybody that came in that knew Steve Goodman, I would ask them about Steve Goodman because I wanted to know everything about him because I loved him so much. I thought he was the greatest songwriter, and I just wanted to know everything about him of anybody who knew him. Like Fred Knobloch knew him, and I talked to him a lot about him. And John Prine used to come in after hours, and I talked to him a lot about him. And Al Bonetta, their manager, he used to come in, and I talked to him about him. And I feel like I got to know Steve Goodman almost just from talking to these people that knew him.
I remember
Al Bonetta, they put out on Oh Boy Records a DVD of Steve Goodman live at the Austin City Limits. And I was like, you know what you guys should do?
Book a night at the Bluebird and set up just a big widescreen TV on the stage and put in the DVD and say, book it as Steve Goodman live at the Bluebird and book the date and let people come down and just play the DVD on the stage, because Bonetta gave me one and it was awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's on here somewhere. It's Steve Goodman at City Limits. And then just let everybody come in and sit and watch Steve Goodman on the TV like it's a normal show.
And then they all looked at me like that was the stupidest idea they ever heard, but I thought it would have been really cool. But anyways, I'm really thrilled to bring you this. I hope that it turns you on to the amazing artistry of this guy, and I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get to it. Steve Goodman.
His songs he wrote are so incredible. I couldn't hardly pick one, but I picked his most famous one. See, another thing about him is the variety of songs he wrote. He wrote a lot of different kinds of songs.
And I think a lot of what his success was as a songwriter is he's just a blatantly honest guy. What you see is what you get, from my impression of him. But this video will show you the greatness. This is 4/18/1976 at Capitol Theater, and you're going to see the wonderful artistry of this guy.
That just makes me want to grab my guitar and start.
See, I can't flat pick. Like a lot, you see me finger picking these videos. It's out of necessity. I can't flat pick. I wish I could when I hear this.
My manager tells me to tell everybody that I wrote this song. I go, well, all right. I know I wrote it. Big deal. But no, man, they don't know you wrote this song. All right. I wrote it in 1970, and Arlo Guthrie learned it in the back of the Quiet Night in Chicago in 1972. I dreamed I had to lip sync this song on Bandstand.
A lot of you young people probably don't know what Bandstand is, but look up some stuff on American Bandstand and you'll see what that joke's about. Oh God, we're going back a little bit.
I had to lip sync this song on Bandstand. Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rain. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of hay. Out on a southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out of Kankakee and it rolls past houses and farms and fields. Passing towns that have no name and freight yards full of old black men in the graveyards of a rusted automobile. Just a saying, good morning America, how are you? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans, going 500 miles when the day is done.
All right. right, I gotta tell you,
The song is like reading an American novel. The words are so vivid and colorful, and it just, and the way he delivers it, the intensity, he gives it everything he's got. He does it with pizzazz, and it's just he's such a great guitar player. I love this.
Dealing cards with old men in the club car, and it's penny a point, ain't nobody keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds that bottle, feel the wheels grumbling beneath the floor. Sons of Pullman porters and sons of engineers ride their daddy's magic carpet made of steam. And mothers with the babes asleep go rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they dream, singing good morning America, how are ya? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
that's in the category of things I would never attempt on a guitar.
I'm on the city of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home and we'll be there by morning, through the Mississippi darkness rolling to the sea. All the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and that steel rail still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings that song again, its passengers, oh please refrain. This train's got the disappearing railroad blues. And it's good night America, how are ya? Don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans, and I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Just a saying good night America, how are ya? Hey, don't you know me, I'm your native son. The train they call the city of New Orleans, and I'll be gone a long, long time when day is done.
Love him. And he's got so many songs. Like, listen to A Dying Cubs Fan's Last Request. Listen to, he's got one on here called Talk Backwards. Maybe I'll do that one. It's just brilliant. I'll tell you a story that I heard.
When Arlo Guthrie played the club in Chicago, where on a weekend night to a big audience, because Arlo was a national touring act, and Steve Goodman and John Prine used to play there during the week. The club owner said to Arlo Guthrie, after his set, he was sitting at the bar, and the club owner said, I want you to listen to a song that one of the guys who plays here during the week wrote.
And Arlo Guthrie said, no, I don't want to hear any songs. I want to just get my money and go. And he said, no, you got to hear the song. It's great. You should do it. It's an unbelievable song. And Arlo Guthrie said, look, I don't want any songs. I just want to get my money, and I want to go home. And the bartender said, well, I'm not going to give you your money until you sit and listen to this kid sing you this song. And Arlo Guthrie said, fine, sing me the song. And Steve Goodman sang him that. And of course, Arlo cut it, and it was the biggest song he ever did.
No discourtesy to Arlo Guthrie. I actually met him once in Austin at the Folk Alliance, and he was very nice. But I understand, sometimes you're playing shows and you just want to go. Like Mose Allison wrote the song doing the getting paid waltz, like walking around the club waiting to get paid, so you can just go because you do this all the time, and it's just like, look, I just want to get out of here. So no discourtesy to Arlo Guthrie, but that's the story I heard.
Anyway, Steve Goodman, check out everything by him. He's the standard for me. He's the bar, very high.
To reach the bar, that high standard that Steve Goodman set, you have to be an honest person full of goodness. And from talking to people that knew Steve Goodman,
And nobody had an ill word to say about him. They said he was the nicest, sweetest person and a very honest person. And that's how you write great songs. You're honest. Your life out there.
another quick thing, somebody told me once that they were doing a show. Steve Goodman was doing a show, and it was snowing out, and nobody showed up for this thing because of the weather. There only was like 9 people at the club. So he stood up there, and he did like a couple songs, and he said, you know what? Let's all just go out and get some dinner. And he took the 9 people to a restaurant, and they all sat down and had dinner with Steve Goodman. And that was what they got for their ticket, which to me is just wonderful.
There's a lot of great Steve Goodman stories that I heard in Nashville when I asked around.
But anyways, I love him. I hope this turns you on to him. Check out all the Steve Goodman stuff on YouTube. He's just an amazing guy. And God bless him. He died very young. He died of cancer. He was sick most of his life, tragically. But he just kept on pushing. He kept doing his thing. So God is good. And he gave us him for a short time, and we learned a lot from him. Like Buddy Holly, almost. You know, like you just learned so much from them, even though they're here such a short time.
Anyways, I got to end this. Steve Goodman.